What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 2. Millionaire Maker.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon
so you don't miss our new videos.
Okay guys, this is for the Millionaire Maker slate, which is the Sunday main slate at 1 p.m. Oh, and stick around to the very end of this video. After I show you all my picks in the Draft Dashboard tools, I'll show you these players in DraftKings and in FanDuel, the Millionaire Maker slates. There'll be 2 spots open that you have to fill in, but you'll have a great Millionaire Maker core. Okay guys, my Millionaire Maker quarterback for NFL Week 2 is Justin Fields from the Chicago Bears, playing the Tampa Bay Bucks, who have the 7th worst defense overall, give up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. So Justin Fields has averaged 16.5 fantasy points per game on the season. He got 9 rush attempts in week 1, only gonna be about 2% owned. So I think this is a good sleeper pick. Now he's 7,600 DraftKings salary, only 400 more on FanDuel, so I love that FanDuel price. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 41.5 points scored in this game, with the Bears favored by 3. So I like the rushing upside of Justin Fields. I think that's discounted by a lot of people or not given enough credit. So I like Justin Fields here versus the Tampa Bay Bucks. Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. My Millionaire Maker running back, we had this pick in week 1. We got some comments that he stood out as a good pick that no one was talking about, and we were right. So I'm going with him again here in week 2. He's got a good matchup. My Millionaire Maker running back is Travis Etienne from the Jacksonville Jaguars, playing the Kansas City Chiefs, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Now Travis Etienne averaging 21.4 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 18 rush attempts per game and 5 pass targets per game, so a ton of volume. Was on the field for 80% of the snaps in week 1, projected at 14.5 fantasy points here in week 2. I think he can go for 20 plus here once again. He's 6,900 DraftKings salary, 1,300 more on FanDuel.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
And we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy,
and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video.
So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Vegas thinks there's going to be 51 points scored in this game, with the Jacksonville Jaguars trailing by 3. So Travis Etienne scoring 21 fantasy points in week 1. Tons of volume. He's got a good matchup in a high-scoring game. His price tag is still relatively low. So I like Travis Etienne. Oh, he's going to be about 11% owned. So that's about what I would expect. There's a lot of running backs this week with about 10 to 12, 11, 13% ownership, roughly 12% ownership across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 backs that I can see just at a glance. Yeah. So it looks like the running back position is heavily spread out amongst about 10 different backs. I'll just go through them real quick. Got Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Tony Pollard, Derrick Henry, Travis Etienne, James Conner, David Montgomery, Kenneth Walker. So those are the guys that you're going to be looking to rotate in your lineups here in week 2. Let's go ahead and move on to the wide receiver position. Okay, so my Millionaire Maker wide receiver is Mike Evans from the Tampa Bay Bucks, playing the Chicago Bears, who have the second worst defense overall, give up the 10th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Mike Evans averaging 18.6 fantasy points per game on the season. He got 10 pass targets in week 1, gonna be about 9% owned, was on the field for 84% of the snaps. He's only 6,200 DraftKings salary, 900 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 41.5 points scored in this game, with the Bucks favored by 3. So you got a great matchup, tons of volume, nice week 1 performance, and his price tag is relatively low. So I like Mike Evans here versus the Chicago Bears.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the tight end position. If you want to go ahead and stack this game, I think you could stack on a Cole Kmet from the Chicago Bears playing the Tampa Bay Bucks, who have the 7th worst defense overall, give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. Now, Cole Kmet, he scored 9.4 fantasy points in week 1 off of 7 pass targets, even got a rush attempt, only going to be about 3% owned, and he was on the field for 97% of the snaps, so that sticks out amongst the other tight ends that you'd be looking to play here for around the same salary, with the exception of Tyler Higbee. He was on the field for 91% of the snaps, and he's 4,600 DraftKings salary, 500 more on FanDuel. So I also like Tyler Higbee. He's going to be about 5% owned. But Cole Kmet, so if you do want to stack this game, you could stack on Cole Kmet, or you could just go ahead and if you don't want to stack that game, you could go with Tyler Higbee here from the LA Rams playing the San Francisco 49ers, who have a good defense overall, but they give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. Tyler Higbee scored 7.9 fantasy points in week 1. He got 3 pass targets. He's going to be about 5% owned, like we said, on the field for 91% of the snaps in week 1. Projected at 9.4 fantasy points here in week 2. He's 4,600 DraftKings salary, 500 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 44.5 points scored in this game, and they have the Rams trailing by 8. So I do like this game script. Could be a passing game script for Tyler Higbee and the Rams. He could get a handful of targets here and have a pretty decent game. So I like Tyler Higbee here versus the San Francisco 49ers.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck. You've unlocked the bonus content.
Okay, so here we are in the DraftKings lineup optimizer over here on Draft Dashboard, and we have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here. We've generated a lineup, so let's see who we got. We got Justin Fields, Travis Etienne, Derrick Henry, Darnell Mooney, Mike Evans, Nico Collins, Tyler Higbee, Zay Flowers, and the Lions defense. So guys, I like this lineup quite a bit. We got some heavy hitters here. So Justin Fields stacked with Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney put up 15 fantasy points last game, was on the field for 84% of the snaps. So, and he's only 4,400. So in Justin Fields, he's got some major upside, and he's got low ownership. So does Darnell Mooney. Then we got Derrick Henry, who's got monster upside. Travis Etienne, I think he's got monster upside for his price point or for his salary under 7K. And then you got Mike Evans, who has got 20 plus fantasy point upside. And then you got some guys that are around or under 5K with Zay Flowers, Nico Collins, and Tyler Higbee, who we talked about in this video. So I like this lineup, so I'm going to save this lineup so I can optimize it later if anything changes. Okay, here we are in the FanDuel lineup optimizer. Over here on Draft Dashboard, we have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here. We've generated a lineup, so let's see who we got. We got Justin Fields, Travis Etienne, Bijan Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Calvin Ridley, Mike Evans, Cole Kmet, Josh Reynolds, and the Texans defense. So this is a fire FanDuel lineup. I'm going to save this lineup, but let's go through it here. We got the same combo, Justin Fields and Darnell Mooney. We got Travis Etienne, Bijan Robinson. He scored 17.3 fantasy points in week 1, was on the field for 64% of the snaps. Then you got Calvin Ridley. So you got a dual threat here with Calvin Ridley and Travis Etienne. So it's kind of stacked there, and you're not running it back with any Kansas City Chiefs. So you could go ahead and change that Calvin Ridley to a Jamar Chase. Now guys, Jamar Chase and the whole Cincinnati Bengals team had a really bad week 1. So they could be looking for a big bounce back game here in week 2, and they're going to be off a lot of people's radars. Now Jamar Chase is going to be about 23% owned. So this is certainly the much safer play, and that's what's nice about the optimizer here. So you can see Calvin Ridley does have a higher Draft Dashboard rank. He's got a great matchup. He's hot because there's only been 1 week in the season, so take this with a grain of salt until there's a handful of games in the system. That's why it's nice where you can just see all the data, make the decisions for yourself, but use the tools to help optimize your lineup based on certain things. So you got Calvin Ridley sitting at 9% ownership, 8,300 FanDuel salary. He's got a great ranking because he had a good week 1, and everything's firing. Calvin Ridley could have a fantastic week here in week 1, and I will play him in other lineups. But we got Travis Etienne here in the running back position. We aren't running it back with any Kansas City Chiefs. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and roll with Jamar Chase from the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Baltimore Ravens. So that's why it's good. You just don't want to rely on one stat. So even though you may see, Jamar Chase has a 46 dash rank, in comparison to Amon Ross Street Brown or Stephon Diggs or Keenan Allen, all great plays, by the way. But you see Jamar Chase, even though he doesn't have the better matchup and he had a bad week 1, you see a lot of people stacking up on him with 23% projected ownership, so that tells you something. So yeah, Jamar Chase, I'm going to roll with that. I like this lineup. I'm going to save it so I can optimize it later if anything changes.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.